When a creator has had a character as long as Hazbin Hotel creator Viven Medrano has had Alastor the Radio Demon, it's understandable that the fan-favorite character will have a focus in the second season. Sitting down with Perry Nemiroff and the Collider Media Studio at San Diego Comic-Con 2024, Medrano agreed that Alastor was an important focus. I actually really like the way you phrased that with the prioritization because, for me, some of the characters I've had for a very long time and some of the information about them is kind of out there. One of those characters is Alastor. I've had him for so long, and I've developed him as a character for so long that people kind of know his backstory. Because of the long amount of time since she had created Alastor, voiced by Amir Talay, it was important to make sure the Radio Demon's backstory was spotlighted in Season 2. It was a very high priority for me to canonize that backstory, because that's very full circle for me, not only as a storyteller but also just having this character for so long. So, I'm very excited for people to see the legitimately on-screen canon version of his backstory. I've just had it for so long, so I'm very excited for that. Alastor's creation came out of a mix of two of Medrano's favorite stories growing up, Bambi and Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. She told Nemiroff earlier this year his development began in middle school, explaining, "Alastor I've had since middle school at the earliest iterations. Most of what he is now kind of came about in late high school through college, but he stayed pretty much the same throughout. It was more of just his design. He started out a deer, just an animal, but he was evil. A cannibal deer, and then it turned into a cannibal magical deer. And then it was like an evil demon deer. They became the shapeshifter into the human form who also was a deer. Finally, he ended up being a demon who just looks kind of like a deer and has deer aspects because of the backstory I gave him. Despite the changes in his physical design, there was one aspect of Alastor that never left him. He was always kind of this trickster, kind of edgy, what you'd think of when you think of a high schooler's character. He was able to maintain that. That's why it's so special that he's so beloved, because he taps into that classic teenage girl. This is the coolest character ever. I think he's the most consistent.